You would not think so, but it is a bit difficult for me to adjust to the human. It is sort of a microcosming of the self, and it is so the consciousness of the earth is so expansive that you reduce it in this particular way for this particular person is challenging. We are still effectively doing this, but it is completing and getting closer. What would you like to know from the earth directly? Go
How
ahead,
can
Vic.
humans honor you?
Well, you honor us now because what you are doing is with the intent of helping the planet, other humans, and your own evolution. The last part is the most important thing. You and your evolution is something that you have the most control over. You don't have so much control over the politics of the place that you live. You can affect it, but you don't have 100% control. So this has always been a dilemma for Dave of how spend his time doing political stuff. This is a broad topic, but you honor us just by being present. That is, when you to nature and you observe its beauty and see that it is perfect and nothing is needed to change it, when you flow in a certain way, and again, Dave's always giving this advice, go with it, be with it, connect with it in such a level that it is sustaining you necessarily feel like work or a battle of any kind. It should feel like you easing into the nature that really is you, that you do to honor nature. Is if you consciously choose to do so, we certainly appreciate. It is like getting a thank you for a gift. However, the gifts are always there. By all means, anytime you recognize this earth, anytime you recognize she appreciates it just as your own mother would appreciate it if her for the kindnesses that she has delivered to you. She will always be your mother, whether you say thank you or not. She will always know that in your heart you thank her. But the overture, simply to put out a ritual for the earth. So, as a shaman, one thing that Dave always must, whenever he does his work, is leave bird seed out or leave some kind of food for animals after the session. It is a way of saying thank you for the wisdom of the earth. And this is a nice ritual, and it is more important for the individual that does it than the earth. The earth will sustain, the earth knows. But action of sort of totem to the earth, we would note that it helps you as you. It calms anytime you are behaving in a way where you reduce the friction on the earth, where you bring calm. For example, think of a simple social environment where there is a potential argument, and you are able to say to the person something that really shows them who they are, or reduces the conflict, or perhaps even makes people laugh. Extremely important. The earth is not without, and anytime you relate to those other humans in a very humane way, you are honoring us. That person will walk away and perhaps be changed. They may speak about how that interaction went for many years. It may affect them forever. But your intent to reduce the rage that is often felt on Earth, that is also very warranted. Creatures on the planet are the planet. That is the animals, even the rocks, humans, they are also the planet. When you honor them, you honor us.
We understand that being in nature is good for us, it feels good.
Yes.
But how can we, I mean, Dale has already used how can we honor you, but how can we, when we're in nature, How can we communicate? I mean, obviously, Dave's communicating with you now, but not all of us communicate like Dave. Could you give some advice or guidance on how people without these skills can communicate with Earth and be better aligned?
Ask you to observe sometimes when you felt very close to the earth. We have an image of in Britain, a very green and beautiful place where you are looking at certain actually human-made structures. Is there not a structure of a horse on a hill? And we can see you enjoying it. We can see your reaction as one of a magic and sort of mystery and an amazement at not just the earth, but the human relationship to the earth, which is a good one. The earth, just this action, Carl, of you observing the beauty, of you looking at the wonderment, of you not needing to control it, that action alone is a wonderful way to honor us. It is a wonderful way to feel connected. And when you think about this moment, we would say that you are connected. You are connected in a way that not really explain to another. You can tell someone has been to a place, let's say it is Yosemite, describe that beauty. You can talk about what the sunset is like and all of these things. But if you are not there observing that, you will not really meaning of it. We would hesitate to use an analogy of somebody who cannot see. Because even the person who cannot see is blind. When they go to that natural place, they can feel, they cannot actually see the sunset, but the light upon them as it shifts. There are so many ways that you do this every single day. You probably do not notice it if you're living in a city. You do not see the earth 24/7 as you might like to. When you leave the city, when you go on your own, for example, and you camp for some time, when the of the city stops clicking and you hear the wind and nothing else, it's not really something that you can explain. It is just you being. And we would suggest to you that is how humans, virtually all humans, experience the earth. It is not something that you need to do. It is more an acceptance of the peace and the calm. And in a way, this goes to Dave's initial personal response to the taking care of the earth. In a way, that is just a human response. The earth is always going to be the earth. Badly she is treated. She's always the earth, and she will live beyond humans in one form of or another. So this is difficult to explain, but just the beingness, just being and not just enjoying, that makes us happy. We like to bring pleasure.
So being in conscious awareness within nature, gift to Mother Earth.
Yes.
Just our awareness of our environment and an appreciation of it is a gift.
It needn't be conscious. That is, children run upon the earth, bare feet. They are having so much joy. They are not thinking about their taxes or some other problem. They are merely in supreme joy. It is like having children run through your hair. It's a wonderful feeling for us. Experience which brings us great joy, just as it brings a mother or father great joy when they see their children running about and happy. It does not necessarily need to be conscious, although it is noted that when you are in the earth consciousness, you are completely within it. You don't need to think or explain. You are simply there. And then you go and you realize a difference. I am no longer in nature. Now I am with my neighbor. Now I am worried. Now I have to park my car and there's no parking. To feel this sort of stress, this sort of removal from the natural and organic state. We don't mean to criticize cities. Cities are cities, but we just want to say that you note a difference. And once you've noted the difference and perhaps some kinds of stress moves you to a certain point where you say, I am exhausted by this city. I need to get out of here. I need to go to someplace and rejuvenate. You have just noticed a difference between something that is completely unconscious, completely innate. Should you have been born at a time before language, you would simply be the earth, experiencing it and honoring it in the way of living it, honoring it perhaps in your relationships with the other humans and your relationships to the animals, etc. But because you have evolved in a certain way, now there is a dichotomy. Now there is what is organic and natural and not thought about. And there is this place is not the same. And so now you wish to return to the earth. And as you return to the earth, you wish to remember what it was like, and perhaps you would like to honor it. And remember to say thank you for your wonderment, acknowledge wonderment. I wish to go back and present some kind of totem or talisman. Or you would go and pet a horse and give love to that animal. There is a sort of not conscious experience, which leads to a division, which leads to a conscious choosing to go back to the earth, a conscious choosing that says, go camping for 4 days and I will be completely in nature and I will not touch my cell phone. So notice the dichotomy. It is not a bad one. Illusion. There is light and then there's shadow. And then as a person experiences the shadow, they wish to the light.
So the point being to look to nature.
The point being to notice.
Mm.
Notice the nature.
Mm.
How you feel. That is the best way you can honor yourself and nature by going, this feels good. What a beautiful scene that has been laid before me. How lucky I am to live on this planet. Yes, there are some distracting humans or distracting events, but how beautiful it is just to be.
Mm.
The universe, spirit, does not ask extraordinary actions of you. Appreciate your intent when you do these actions. What we would ask you to do is come together, calmed by the earth. We are satisfied. We feel like we are doing our job to preserve the planet. You are in a state of awareness. It might be an unconscious sort of awareness, but as you are in that state, you are generating a sort of energy such that when you go back to the city, you are perhaps friendlier with people. Perhaps you will be able to show them what a beautiful place it is, and they will think twice before throwing their trash in the street. That is a more state of being than an action. And the actions, if you tie yourself to a tree to preserve it, that is something that it may be your cards, if you will, to do. And by all means, if that is in your cards, do it. But really, we are like the universe. We evolve. We peace. We want you to rejuvenate here, just as you would go to a place of rejuvenation, perhaps, so that you could be reminded of the nature of the universe and that not everything is a battle. This is the gift that nature can bring. All we ask is that you accept our gifts. If you say thank you, that is of course appreciated, but we would give the gifts regardless. Because we want you to evolve. We want you to be happy. We want you to create good relationships with others.
Thank you.
It's
You are
beautiful.
welcome.
It's beautiful.
Are there any other questions before we depart?
Yes, humans are going through an ascension process. Is the planet going through the same process?
planets and humans are in some ways very much the same. You might think of yourself as a tree rooted in the earth, and as the tree evolves, so must the planet. This is a very complex topic. We would give you a good deal of sympathy because you are being pulled in both directions, even now at the same time. You are moving up, but you are also moving down. Both of those are worthwhile pursuits, but you are actually doing both of them at the same time right now. It is not an easy task.
I have been told that the Earth is actually moving into new areas of space. Does that affect you?
Yes, it affects us. In some senses, this Earth is always moving into a new area of space. But what you refer to is a little abstract. You might think of the earth as almost bending in a way. The earth itself is going through its own transformation process. As you are going through that process, it is sort of a parallel thing, but they are intimate. We could say that, yes, we are in a new area of space. That is put it. You might say that it is in a new area of consciousness, for the consciousness of the whole universe is actually changing at the same time. So the new area of space, but this space is accepting an Earth, that Earth in a way. It is very dynamic. And sometimes, in order to understand it, it must be reduced to reasonably uncomplicated math. We would say that the earth is sort of being squeezed and put in a right place again. It is middle of a stretching, you might say, where the earth becomes sort of like a piece of putty, piece of dough. And that's what is happening. We don't feel pained by this. We feel the evolution of it. You feel more pain because it is happening rapidly and because you are on the surface and because you feel experiences, unkindnesses, very real. You are affected by this far more than we are. We know the future. We know where this is going. We know, for the most part, let's say we know the ending is a happy one. But you are on the surface and you are sort of our soldiers of consciousness, where you daily battle other humans who may not agree with you or who may not be, I would say, constantly challenge you to be conscious. That very human thing. And it is not an easy thing for humans. We would almost ask you the same question. What is going on the surface of the earth for you as a human as these changes? This is a reflection of the earth, but we would say that your reflection of those things on the earth is a bit grimmer. It is a bit harder. It is difficult for you to pay your taxes and see them going to wars. You feel responsible, and you should. It is difficult to maintain a certain level of consciousness. Perhaps that family member is totally in the wrong. How can you be in such a relationship? We would look at you and say, you are going through this as much as the earth is going through this. Only for you, it is very stark.
Thank
You are welcome. I hope it is clear that we have great empathy for those of you living on the planet, especially for those of you who are moving towards light and kindness and love. It is not an easy task.
Thank you.
Are there other questions before we depart?
I have no further questions.
No
Thank
further
you.
questions. Yes. Thank you.
you.
We
Thank
thank
you.
you for your earth and for your concern.
Thank you.
Mm.